like to speak. There's also an opportunity during the meeting and at the end. So if you don't speak now.
We do have one hand raised, so I'm
Okay.
just going to allow Ronald to talk.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay.
The
Go ahead.
reason why I'm contacting this group is that I'm interested in the condition of the Brook Farm trails. It's one of the trails that's advertised as a Radnor Trail, but it's basically overgrown. You really can't walk through the whole trail.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, you're right.
So I've talked to a number of people. I've spoke to Tammy Cohen, who is the Radnor Director of Parks and Recreation, and she mentioned that the reason why it should really have to coordinate with the homeowners association, I believe, for the Brook Farm. That development there, that's, it's a little bit different than the Radnor Trail.
Okay.
But I mean, she feels that that's something that the township would be interested in kind of coordinating with that homeowners association. I've also spoken to the reason why I got kind of interested in it is I did do a cleanup with the Darby Creek Valley Association in the spring. But I mean, they did a good job cleaning up the litter and things, but it didn't really, that wasn't cutting back all the overgrowth wasn't part of the plan. And they are supportive of trying to maintain the trail better. And I also spoke to Will Nord.
Who do you mean by they?
Well, the Darby Creek Valley Association.
Oh, okay.
They would try to advertise maybe a cleanup or maintenance day. And I also spoke to Will Nord at the Willows Preserve, and he's interested also because he's thinking about making the Willows more of a spot where people stop and have coffee or whatever when they're walking through the different trails. Like a lot of people go to the Willows, and that's a lot of people do that, but not too many people I think are going to the Brook Farm Trail. A lot of people do the Radnor Trail, but the Willows or the Brook Farm Trail is a really completely different experience. And it's right along the creeks, Little Darby Creek. So I think I just thought it might be of interest to the environmental advisory committee, just to try to make it more open and people could use it better if it's better maintained.
Could you put that up?
Okay, well, thank you. The Brook Farm Trail, is that the one that's not, there's an entrance, I might be getting this mixed up, to it not far from the Wayne Elementary School?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that twice I've tried it and you can't go very far. It's all great.
Right.
So you're suggesting perhaps we collaborate with the Homeowners Association in Delaware Valley, Delaware, whatever that is. Delaware.
Darby Creek Valley is it? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We'll look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions or comments of Ronald?
Hi, Commissioner Mulroney here. I will raise this with Parks and Rec and see if there is it may be on a list for some improvement or not that I've not heard, but I will definitely look into it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to hear about it. I didn't realize that it was not passable. So I will make sure that those who can address it know about it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks
thank you.
for raising it.
All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this time? All right, so then we'll go on with the announcements. Ray had sent an email about this student ambassador application, and it appears that so far there was only one applicant, and I think we're going to probably wait until the fall now because it hasn't progressed past this. But and I was going to thank Jerry for his service with us, but he wasn't able to make it today either. This was a bad day. So anyway, I do want to express our thanks to Jerry for being the student ambassador this year. Any other comments on that one? Yard flag requests. So I've had 2 more requests for the yard flags, and I did take pictures. I've sent them in. I'm not sure when the photos will be on our website, but we do have a number of pictures now of some of the yard flags, and we're actually out of the first batch of them. So I didn't order all of them because I wasn't sure how many would be requested. So if we get any more requests, please let me know, and I'll have to order more. And the third thing was just to bring attention to an email that Sarah Pilling had sent about the homegrown national parks. That is a promotion to have native plants in your property. And it certainly aligns very closely to what we're doing with our eco-friendly yards. I don't know if there's something we want to, work on incorporating that, but I thought I'd bring that out since she had sent that to our attention. Any other announcements?
I would just a follow-up on the yards. I think at the last meeting, we requested that it be shared on social media again, even if it's the same video of the director talking about the program. I am trying to scroll on the Facebook page, and there's so much on the page, which is great for the township and our residents, but you can't find it. Nobody's going to see it anymore. So it'd be great if we could just share that to the page again. So how many signs did we give out, Margie?
It's 9.
9. Okay, yeah. I think we can definitely reach some more people. We just need to share that again on
Right, we do.
socials.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
requested that, but there's always so many things. Yeah, but we definitely have to announce this some more. I mean, the summer really has just begun, so I think we would have more takers. I had a very enthusiastic person just this past week who, she heard about it from a neighbor who, and then so it is spreading a little bit. I mean, obviously it's not a huge thing, but it is spreading.
Yeah. So the post was made on April 20th. I think 2 months later, we can certainly post it again. That's not too much for social media. In fact, It could be posted once a month throughout the summer. And I would encourage everyone of us on the township to share it to your own Facebook pages, because the more these things are shared and the more often they show up on people's social media feeds. So that's like our part in helping spread the word about it as well.
Okay, great, Donna. Thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, the next thing is update on Bob Tate's request for information. And Dan kind of took this under his wing, and who's not here right now. But there were a few emails. I think they were to the whole group. Have you all seen the emails regarding that correspondence Dan had with Bob Tate via email? Dan sent information to Bob about a cost estimator tool that's available by the DVRPC, and which you can determine what the costs are for these various electric vehicles. And Dan said he would make a spreadsheet with all the information and have it at the meeting, but I think he was referring to next month's meeting because he knew he wasn't able to make this one. He's away on vacation, I think. So that's the only update I know on. Has anyone found anything else out pursuant to the Bob Tate's request? No. Okay. I have it in my mind that I was going to, I did not real extensive, but I did do search on the scholarly journals about this topic, and there's not a lot. There's very little published.
Weird. Sorry. Please. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. And a lot of it is, interestingly, from Britain. There isn't a lot in US applications. So anyway, but we will try to keep this in mind to continue the follow-up on this. And then the next one is Dan's Area 2 updates on the green team, but I can just say what was once again that Dan had shared, that the financial incentive, and Melissa replied to Dan, the financial incentives that Dan had put together a few months ago, he read them to us, are now up on our website, and they also have a link, their own link. So that's now up on the website. Another piece of news, which was from Melissa, is that the RFPs were received on June 14th and are now in the process of review by staff. So those were another topic Dan was working on. Melissa, is there anything to add? Do you know?
No, I think you gave a pretty good summary on those.
Okay. Great. Then as far as other updates, Eugenia had brought up the idea of a lecture series. Eugenia, do you have something you want to share on that?
Well, I think we've gotten some interest, and Janelle's talked to somebody about composting, and I've talked to a couple of people about some ideas. So I think the next step is, do we want to get a couple of dates on the township calendar, maybe 2 dates in the fall and 2 dates in the spring, and start to think about what and if we can offer some interesting lectures. So, move it forward. Let's get a base for it to start putting some topics in.
Yeah, Mother Compost was willing to do one kind of like on the house, although they do typically charge. It would be great to pay her for the talk. So I think one of the next things was to see if there was an appetite for being able to provide compensation for the folks that were possibly going to speak. I don't know if there's any determination on that, but she's certainly open to giving a talk on it as well.
I think I had shared with the group that I can't remember if it's DEP, but there are environmental education grants that are available.
Yeah, you send us. Yeah.
Yeah, and they usually open up annually, and I think it may be coming up this summer. So it would not fund something right away, but maybe early next year.
Okay, well, maybe we need to concentrate on the freebies at this time then. I think there are plenty of people out there that are willing to give freebies. I mean, the talks I gave on the drawdown were all free. I didn't charge. And yeah, but maybe the Mother Compost one should be our first. We might want to go by the speaker when they do it rather than set up a date ahead of time, maybe. Maybe pursue that, ask the person from the mother from the compost site, when she might be willing to do it. We could start off with that, or we could maybe we ought to have this more in a planned manner and pick some other topics as well. So we could have like like Eugenia, you said, it's like actual series.
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's so many things that happen in the township in the fall, whether it's, township administration, put things that we put on, or just, big football games that might not bring in people if there's a big Radnor football game, or just other things. So I guess what I'm saying is, should we look at the calendar for all the events, various, events
I
coming up
see.
this fall,
Yeah.
and say, here's a free date, let's hold this, and we'll figure out somebody to go into that. And here's a second free date, I think we need to get some dates first. Having done wedding planning at various clubs, it goes so quickly, and suddenly the month is gone. And so I just think it'd be great if we could just hold a date tentatively, to hold 2 dates tentatively, to say, we hope to do something. We hope that Mother Compost can do it one of these days. If she can't, we'll go to the next person, But I just would like to see some sort of movement on it one way or the other. Or, if nobody's that interested, it's okay.
Does anyone have any like ideas for other speakers at this time?
I think didn't I send you, Margie, a list? Hold on for 1 second. I'll try and find it, but there's somebody who's spoken at the Morris Arboretum about stormwater management in your yard. One of the people to whom I gave a flag said they'd really like to, you hear about what plants to plant in rain gardens, but how do you actually build them? Or how can you, how do you actually get a rain garden going, not just use these plants? And there was a third one or fourth one. And Janelle, did more people, when they did their surveys, was there any other interest besides composting? You said that was a good place to look.
I mean, yeah, I think everybody has the survey results in their email, but I can pull them up real quick.
Ask the arborist. That's the other one that's coming in the fall. Now Shade Tree is doing that, and I've been talking to Ginny, and it's their baby, and I'm taking no credit for it or anything, but we should make that one of our lecture series too in the fall. So maybe composting, and work with the Shade Committee to say, when will your arborist, I think it's John Hosbach, when is he planning on speaking, or do you have a date yet? If not, here are 2 dates you can pick from that will be part of our series.
And also, Stoneleigh is really big into native plants, and they have people there. They may be willing to come and speak.
Oh yeah, and Jenkins we have, and Chanticleer. The other one that several people mentioned to me, and this is just conversation, is everybody's favorite, beekeeping. A beekeeping class.
Yeah.
The survey said maintaining healthy lawns, energy saving home features, recycling textile and electronics, using solar energy was one that the most responses were interested in.
Well, we could certainly get someone from Solarize Delco to speak on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, those are all good topics.
Okay, so what we need to do is everybody needs to take one and try to find somebody so that we don't talk about this again next month. So I will reach out to Solarize Delco. We already have Mother Compost. Somebody else want to grab one?
I'm working with Ginny on the shade, Ask the Arborist. I'll work with Lucy Dinsmore, who does tons of stormwater for your yard and your neighborhood planning. I'll work on those 2.
I can check out somebody at Stoneleigh.
So and just and that would be just to talk to us about native plants and how good they are. And okay.
Right, because they're actually even promoting them. You can buy them there now. They have a little, stand. So their whole approach. And
I'm sorry, everybody. A light just went on in my house and I can't even see myself. So is anybody interested in beekeeping? Have you all had friends who've said that? Oh, I'm interested in beekeeping, or seen people who are interested in beekeeping?
not for
Yes, because
summer.
my neighborhood, including me, have had beehives in our house. And so there are strategies on how to deal with that.
Well, this is
that-
formalized beekeeping, so you develop your own honey, this, that, and the other.
I know, but it would also be good to let people know, should you have that problem,
Yeah,
there are options, there are humane options to take care of it without using any kind of pesticides. They can actually
right.
remove it and get the queen. It's a laborious task, but it can be done.
Right. That's a good idea. Add that into it too.
Okay.
I can look into that. I mean, is that more of a spring thing, beekeeping? I know nothing about it. Is that more of a start in the spring type of thing?
You started in
Anybody
the
know?
spring. You do.
I
Oh,
don't-
okay.
My
I don't
husband
know
and I
that
have
that's a
bees.
huge-
Yeah, you start in the
huge
spring
deal.
and it goes through the summer.
Okay.
I know of more people that have chickens than bees. Yeah,
Let me look at beekeeping for a spring thing then. Just with the loss of bees and everybody trying to have pollinator gardens, I thought that would be a good one. And as you pointed out, how to get rid of them in your house if they're nuisance, humanely.
And there are bee associations, so you could,
Oh, there are a ton of them. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll work with Ginny for ask the arborist and the stormwater one, and I'll look at bees a little bit later, and we'll think of that for the spring. But that takes me back to my initial question. Can we pick 2 days? Is everybody comfortable with that? How do we do it? Who does it? Etc. Since I'm new to this committee.
well, I can work on finding the days, so.
Okay.
So
I mean,
we'll figure
Yeah,
some-
Melissa will have to tell us when the building's available.
Yeah,
Well, and can we have things still at the Willows? Or do they charge now, or is that free, or what?
as far as I know, they don't charge.
Okay,
Yeah,
So they do charge for private events, but they work very closely with Parks and Rec. It's obviously it's a township park, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there might be some availability for a township
yeah.
event.
I always think that's a little bit nicer when you're talking about environmental stuff. It's, surrounded by pretty things and plenty of parking, and people may walk before or afterwards as opposed to the township building.
or we could also collaborate with the library. They always have so many events too.
Mm. Okay, so the Margie, you'll start to work on getting us some dates.
Yeah,
Okay. I just hate to plan something and then find out there's a big tree giveaway somewhere, or a big, auto show, or, the big Radnor Lower Merion game, and everybody's, I want to try and get as many people these things as possible. So it becomes sort of a standard. Yeah, Radnor has this great lecture series a couple of times a year. They're very environmentally focused and trying to get it out to the population.
okay, anything else? Okay, and Melissa sent a request about whether we were interested in doing the fall festival again. 2 years ago, this was my idea, and we did it for 2 years or 3 years, was it? 2 or 3 years. We did it, and I don't know what, everybody isn't here now, unfortunately, what the group feels. I felt there wasn't a lot of return for the effort, but I don't know if anybody feels differently, and if you all want to do the fall festival again this year, we can. We have to have some type of gimmick or something, to attract people again.
I'm so sorry. Could you explain what it was a little bit? Because I haven't been. What was the?
Oh, sorry.
premise?
Yeah, so we just have a table, the fall festival that Radnor
The
has.
Wayne
on
Business Festival.
Wayne
in the
Avenue,
fall.
right. And we have a table, and then we give out literature. We have our little normal propaganda we give out. And one year we had a raffle of 2 free baskets that we raffled off, so it didn't cost anything, in exchange for people filling out a thing of indicating their interests in environmental concerns. And we actually got Lisa Hollowell as a member through that because she was a winner. And when I delivered the basket, she just, discussed her interest. So
That's how I found out about it. I was there last year and I didn't know anything
you did
about
find
it.
it. Okay.
That's how I
So
found
maybe
out
it
about
does
it.
have some return then, since we did get 2 members from it. That's pretty good.
I think it'd be a great way to talk about the lawn program.
That's true.
And if we're
Yeah.
going to start a lecture series, I mean,
It's the thing that people aren't really in the mood for information at that festival. So it is a little bit of an effort, getting people to really be interested. Even those that signed up for the raffle that time really didn't. And then one time I was at the pumpkin festival and we gave away free apple cider and people just grabbed their apple cider and ran. So so I don't know, what do you, so you sounds like you all would be interested in participating.
I agree. I think it sounds like a great way to promote the lawn program, to promote the lecture series, to promote whatever else comes up in the next 2 or 3 months. I mean, it certainly can't hurt. And my feeling is it's a face for us.
Right.
they draw a tremendous crowd.
I know, I know, because last year I was there the whole day and felt like I got a sunstroke.
Well, I think the thing you have to do, you have to have, set it up so that you're not there the whole, because it can be sunny. You have to just have, time slots, and I would help with,
Okay.
certain time, but you can't, I don't think the one, person can stay the whole time. I think you need to have, shifts.
So does anyone have an idea of something we could do to draw people in? Because it's nice to have something to catch their attention.
Does Shade Tree do something on their own? If not, maybe we could double up with them. I just throw this initial idea out. Let's have a demonstration or two. Maybe we have a demonstration of how to correctly plant a young tree. Maybe we have a demonstration of, I don't know what.
The problem is it's in October.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also
So
it
planting is
I think
kind
it's
of done.
September. I believe it's September.
Okay, the same thing.
doesn't.
I think you got to keep it. I don't think it could be that elaborate just because people stop by, but I don't think they're going to stay long
Yeah,
enough.
it's the thing where people pass by so
Got to
quickly.
be quick, some information, because they're
Right.
moving around, and I think that might be a challenge.
But tell me again, I'm sorry, where is it held?
It's
In
they
downtown
close
Wayne.
North Wayne.
North Wayne
And
Avenue. Yeah.
North Wayne, and then around the corner, I think it's west, they close those off. And then you have all kinds of vendors, and there's a lot of kid activities, and there's food being sold, and
You've never been to it, Eugenia?
Possibly once, about 2 years ago. Rings a bell. I think so, yeah.
so it's a lot of, but it's very family oriented, whereas
Yeah.
the music festival is more adult oriented. But yeah, it draws a lot of people, a lot of
Looks
families.
like it's gonna be on Sunday, September 17th this year.
Yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't give us a huge amount of time since we have only 2 meetings before then. So is our consensus to attend, because then Melissa has to get us the table. So how many feel we should do it?
I do.
Yep.
Am I the only one?
Eugenia, is your
I'm sorry, I have a husband walking around talking to me. Say the question again.
how many would like to participate and to do this for the fall festival?
I absolutely will. I mean, I just think every opportunity we can to put our face in front of the township is an opportunity that we need to take. But
Great.
yeah, we all have to have different shifts. Nobody should be forced to sit there all day. I mean, that's just,
Yeah, well, Dan was there last year, kind of, so it was kind of the green team, the EAC together. So Dan was there, and there was somebody from Pico last year that was signing people up for energy, reviews, energy audits, but they weren't very, very popular. I mean, people are not in a serious mood in these things.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
would be great if we had something that we could give out, whether it's like wildflower seeds or,
you need something, yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that means we need,
Seeds are a good idea because, it's small enough to stick it in one of their bags. So if we could. I think-
So we need to find out where we could, I don't know how much the township wants to put out for this, whether we could get a source donated to us, like the
What
raffle.
about, are sunflowers considered native? Are they? Because sunflower seeds.
Like
I
the
think they
raffle
would be-
baskets were donated by businesses.
yeah.
So, and Ray had done that. So,
Ray and I had done that, yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, I mean, we could do another raffle. Donnell, what do you think of the raffle again?
I mean, it just takes a lot of work to find a business that's gonna donate. And then like, we had Mother Compost willing to donate, like they dropped off the bucket. They said
Nobody-
they would have a 3-month subscription and nobody wanted to do it,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. So I'm not like gung ho on doing it again without like some concrete idea or, $150 or something that we can work with to have better signage or print out some nice things to give out or, do some kind of activity, because people really are there to have fun with their kids. They're being pulled to the face painting and the rock climbing and into Teresa's, and it's a tough crowd if you haven't been there and worked it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I feel kind of bad. It was my idea to begin with, and now I'm sort of cold about it, really. So I don't know. Maybe what we should do. So we seem to have 2 for and 2 against. I'll email Ray, Dan, and Lisa and see what their vote would be. And then we'll have to sort of do some brainstorming by email, I guess.
Let me ask this, what other groups or committees from Radnor Township are there promoting themselves? Were we the only one those last 2 years?
With Green
JT's
Team.
Not there. What'd you say?
Oh, Melissa,
As Margie said, Green Team was there, but they had the Pico representative signing people up, and it's like, nobody wants to sign up for that.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
aren't gonna have that. We'd have more fun things. I mean, maybe, and Margie, you talk to the other 2 people you mentioned and see what their thoughts are, but maybe the rest of us come up with some concrete ideas over the next month and we say yay or nay at the next meeting after we go over it.
how late can we reserve a table, Melissa? Do you know?
I would say as soon as possible.
Yeah,
They do sell out, I can tell you.
Yeah.
that.
I know.
And we don't, I don't believe they charge us for it, so.
Right. Yeah, we're
yeah,
not
so
great.
we need to make the
customers.
request. What's
Yeah.
that?
We're not really good customers for them. Yeah, because we don't pay. And then we usually get kind of a bum spot too. The one year they put us under this tent thing where nobody came. And then I think it was Sarah finagled us to get out, and we got a table that was empty in the main thing. And then last year we were on the little side street. So yeah, we don't get the main access.
Well, if you all who've done it, I mean, look, I'm new to it. And I think once I stopped in, if you all think it's not worth it, then.
Well, let me check with,
better.
let's let Ray, Dan, and Lisa have their say as well.
Okay.
And I mean, this is not a vote, obvious, nothing formal,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and so I should do this soon and then so that Melissa can get a table. Melissa, I'll let you know one way or another, kind of based on what the majority, wanted to do.
Okay.
We have the chat here. Is the chat? Oh, Donnell. And yeah, then we'll proceed from there. I know, I thought it was, when we're newbies, we think it's a great idea because it seems like a great idea. But then the reality is, okay, anything else on this topic? Okay, and then other thing, it's not so much an update, maybe it's into the new business category. Regarding the education grants that Melissa had sent by. I looked at it. And Melissa, would you be able to work with me to apply for these grants? How do we go about this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll coordinate with you. Anything that needs to be done on the township's end. Generally, I'll work with whoever it is to get the information, in the application, and then I'll submit it on behalf of the EAC.
Okay, and then we have to have a pretty concrete proposal though, right, of what we want to do with the money.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the application and the grant guidelines recently, but I would think they would want to know what your program is, what your goals are.
I mean, just based on academic grants, you have to not only have some concrete proposal, but some experience with it. So the speaker series, it'd be nice if we got that started because that would be something. But, maybe if somebody thinks of something else, when I look more closely at the grant, I'll email everyone and see if you have anything to add that we could apply.
Yeah, I think they have information on product or grants that have been awarded in the past, so that'll give you a good idea of what they look for.
All right. And does anyone have any other updates?
I sent a graphic to Melissa in the group for Plastic Free July. It just uses the bring your own bag Radnor style. I actually found the exact same graphics that we use. So because I know we talked about previously, like posting, using that as like our environmental tip or fact of the month. So if we want to post something like that, we have it available.
I didn't get that. I don't think I got that. Oh no.
I just sent it to the EAC email, like during this meeting. Actually, we gotta multitask over here.
You're really good at that. I'm not.
So that's a possibility if we can use that. And if there needs to be a design change or anything, I can certainly do that. But I know we talked about Plastic Free July last time, and not that we could do any programming around it, but we could certainly promote it as just a national event that happens every July.
Right. Yeah, I haven't sent in the weekly tips for July yet. But that will, every tip in July will be something on Plastic Free July. So for whoever reads those, yes.
I mean, if you want, I can do them for July, Margie.
You want to do them for July? Okay.
Sure, I can do that.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Unless you've already started.
I think I'm actually, no, I didn't. One ahead of June. I don't know that they're totally synced up, but we'll specifically say these are for July.
I mean, they're going to say Plastic Free July on them. So.
Okay. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Margie, just for a second, going back to the fall festival, does the Radnor Conservancy have a table, or do they do something? Can we merge with them for something that might be more interesting, bigger, better, cover more areas? Or do they not?
I don't think, no, they didn't have a table.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, any new business? And any public comment, please raise your hand if you would like to speak. Okay, so that seems like an early finish to the meeting. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.